Good morning and welcome back to Coffee with Toffees on this day, September 12th, 2014. Glad to have you guys here spending the morning with me and the rest of the crew as usual. It's our Friday show, which means all kinds of tournament roundups and other great stuff, as well as our favorite feature, the Cosmetic Corner with Feedernoob. So, if you don't know me, you can find me on Twitter at Toffees_Dota2. You can find the podcast, the YouTube, and the SoundCloud up after the show. Links are embedded, but they're all over the place if you need to see them. And they're all listed on SoundCloud.com/Toffees. And finally, the last plug we have to do is we're trying to keep the show advertising free and keep giving you the same content that you've grown to love. And if you like the content, if you want to support the show, go to Patreon.com/Toffees and donate whatever you feel you want to, even if it is just your well wishes to let us know we're doing a great job. We appreciate it, and it keeps us motivated to keep making the show. We have a brand new producer, Snuggies, who's been helping me put together a lot of the lists and contacting guests, so we're glad to have him on board as well. He's working pro bono because he wants to bring you the best in content. What you might notice is there's a brand new overlay here for the show, so take a look at that because we're all excited about it. It is made by a Reddit fan for free again, so everyone pitching in however they possibly can, and we love you all for doing that. Now, enough about me. Let's talk about our guest today. Guest number one is going to be Leo from Tactic Hive, which is a different sort of tournament, but I'm glad that we could bring him in today on the tournament roundup theme so he could talk a little bit about his tournament. We'll get to that a little bit later, but how you doing today, Leo?
Hey, good. How are you?
Hey, I can't complain. I'm up early. I've got my coffee. I've got my show. Life is good.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for having me, and also congratulations on the baby.
Thank you very much. Toffees Jr. is, I believe, getting a bath right now and then going to
awesome.
Some sort of class with his Toffees mother, the Mrs. Toffees, I guess. But thank you very much. It's great to have him here. For those of you who don't know, we did have Toffees Jr. A little less than 2 weeks ago. So he's brand spanking new. And here, we'll put a picture up of him. There you go. For those of you who care to look, the Tide Hunter photo, as I've come to call it. Second guest we're going to have with us today is Feedernoob. She is the queen of cosmetics, runs the Cosmetic Corner here every Friday, and if you've got something to unbox, she is the one to talk to. How are you doing today, Feeder?
I'm dying for some new boxes, but we don't have any yet.
Don't I know it, but we've got all kinds of previews about what could be coming around the corner, and she'll be going over that at the end of the show. So let's jump right into the news so we can get to all the good stuff. The first piece of information in the pro news is a little change to Team Coast. Basically, they dropped Frigolite and Steph Style. Now, let's be completely blunt with the way that Coast has been playing lately. That's barely news, but we felt like we should let you know because that is still something, if you're into that region, that is a very interesting thing. It's also good to see that Team Coast is making changes instead of just accepting defeat like a lot of teams have been lately. The second one that's a little more interesting, in my opinion, is the Vici and LGD announcement. They made it on Facebook. I'll pull it up for you guys, but at the end of the day, I don't know much about it. All I know is that they have together in conglomeration announced a new gaming crew called LV Gaming. What is it? I have no idea, but it is brought together by two of the massive Asian powerhouses, so I can only assume it's something in that ballpark. Now, we do know that the team is made up of Joe, Inflame, DDC, Lin, Demons, and YJ, who are all players over, I believe, in the Eastern scene, but I'm not overly familiar with. Do either of you have any experience with those players?
No, I do not actually. Wow, that's a pretty scary lineup, though, looking at some of the names.
So you are familiar with the names, or not?
Yeah, I haven't really seen them play for a long time.
Okay.
But, you know, looking at some of the names, I recognize some of them. So, it looks pretty scary from the lineup.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I like the lineup. I think it's going to be a good team. It's also kind of strange to see two major team houses announcing it together. So I don't know if the community is working together, if they're involved, if they're just announcing it for the other team, or what the story is there, guys. But we'll keep an eye on it and try to keep you updated on what's happening with LV Gaming. By the way, don't try to Google them and find information, because LV Gaming literally pulls up nothing but Las Vegas sites. So maybe that name should have been a little reconsidered for the Western fans, but we'll see how that changes over the next couple of months. That's it. That's about it for pro news, guys. But today, the key to Fridays is the tournament roundup. We're going to take you through the tournaments that have been happening throughout the week, give you some updates, and talk a little bit about where the standings are. So the first tournament we need to talk about is the Game Show Dota 2 League. All right, now they have Virtus Pro, Empire, NVMI, Na'Vi, M5, and HR Dota 2. This is a very Eastern European lineups. Some really great games I expected to see. The problem was DDoS attacks have plagued this tournament since the get-go, even to the point of leading LD to tweet out, "This is ridiculous." And LD, perhaps one of the most polite casters I've met in terms of how he talks about tournaments, had to have been pretty frustrated to have sent that out. That said, the tournament got underway. It's going to be running through today as well, and some of the games may have to go offline to avoid those DDoS attacks. So far, though, Virtus Pro is tied with Empire and NVMI with 3 points apiece, which is a bit surprising when compared off to Na'Vi, the team that I think we expected to do very well in this tournament, is sitting on only 3 points. So they have 1 win and 1 loss to their name at this point and are having a little bit of a struggle to keep up. So surprise of the tournament for me has been NVMI. In fact, the surprise of the month for me has been NVMI, who feels like they came out of nowhere and has been performing very, very well. Have either of you had a chance to watch any of these Eastern European teams playing recently?
Yeah, actually, I watched a few games yesterday. NVMI, yeah, they look really, really good. And actually, one of the things, so Na'Vi, like probably 2 weeks ago, they were playing really, really well. And yeah, like yesterday, I don't recall if it's yesterday when they played, it looked really shaky. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but you know, hopefully they can get their shape back. Hopefully
it's an off day, because I mean, as I don't know if you guys have a chance to. If you haven't yet seen Sir Action Slack's Girlfriend Goes to TI, it's a phenomenal video. I watched it again last night. But there's this moment where every time someone says Na'Vi, she goes, Na'Vi, and bows. And I thought it was a hilarious take on the rabidness of the fans, and really like it. So hopefully Na'Vi, the religion in itself, does starts to do better. They have been playing well, like you said, but they just are having a rough run over there. So maybe they pick it up, get in a better position. But that is really the Game Show Dota 2 League. It's not the biggest ones that are going on right now. 2 of the bigger tournaments are ESL 1 qualifiers. All the groups are going full steam. So far in the European brackets, we see Alliance has advanced to the round of 8. So I guess we should say the Sweet 16. And we're going to see Cloud9 and Empire play for that spot to go up against Alliance. Secret and VP are playing, as is Fnatic and Na'Vi, to take up that next group. And then we've got the whole 4th bracket, which is more of a play-in, still underway there. So if you guys want to check it out, you can go to ESL1.com for the brackets themselves, or you can check out the live stream of the show if you're watching this on the podcast. The North American brackets were just finished up and are going to be playing out this weekend. It's EGTC, Top 5, Complexity Gaming, Nyx Assassins, and Gurg Squad, which is MSS's new team, Root, and Navi.us. So in this group for the US bracket, there is some heavy hitters and a couple of folks who we weren't really expecting, say top 5, to get into this level of play. And the first round that I really want to see is Top 5 versus Complexity Gaming. Complexity, Moon Meander's new crew, is actually very tight, but Top 5 is a team that a lot of folks don't know, but they have been playing in the amateur scene a very long time. They work very, very hard, and they've been together for a while too. So if they can break through Complexity, which honestly I think is probably one of the rosters on this set that they have a chance of beating, they can really, I think it'll be a good showing for them. And it's nice to see them up against some big teams, because it does mean that if Top 5 passes Complexity, they get a chance to go up against the EG, and that would be pretty exciting for them. But I don't know if they can get out of that. So is there, have you had are any of those North American teams that I listed a favorite of yours? I know that you work in the North and South American tournament scene to a certain extent.
I've seen like most of them. Actually, I really, really like TC. They participated in several of the tournaments and they looked amazing on ours. Okay. It's a little bit lower scale, but they looked really nice. Another thing is also Top 5. Like they also participated in the TI qualifiers for North America, if I'm not wrong on that.
I believe that they did. Now TC is Thundercats, if I remember correctly.
Right,
is that
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Thundercats, well, they actually beat Na'Vi last week, didn't they?
Yeah. So they are playing really, really well. So I'm really interested to see how they do. Greg's squad, the lineup looks really good. Bleak is actually a really good player from what I heard and what I watched. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they do as well. And everyone else is like, they already have their title, they already have their name, everyone knows about them. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out.
Absolutely. So that is North American qualifiers. The China groups have already poured through almost everything at this point. LGD gets passed right through quickly. LGD waiting for the winner of Tongfu Invictus, and then the winner of that will go on to face LAI, I think it's Lai Gaming, who is currently in first place and will be advancing into that finals match. The China Group B, VG Gaming already in the finals. HGT waiting for the winner of Newbie LGD. So that's going to be a pretty good series if you can catch that as well. All of the teams from the Chinese groups are powerhouses in their own right. So those would be great groups to watch. And I'm excited about ESL because when I look at these qualifier brackets, there are so many teams on there that I want to see play that I can't wait for ESL New York. So not too shabby. We'll keep running through on the Starladder updates. This is the one that I think a lot of folks are interested to see how the Starladder season is going. Right now, let's take a look at SEA. The XCTN, Johnny's, and Titan round out the top three with a massive point lead over their opponents. So they are definitely the top three moving in Starladder right now and most likely to succeed when we talk about moving to the big tournament playoffs. As far as the Starladder American Season 10 goes, Navi US has 12 points. EG has 9, but keep in mind EG has less games played. Let's translate that to English. Has less games played, so they still have the chance to pick up a couple of extra points here. But it looks like Navi US and EG, not surprisingly, are in the top spots. Surprisingly, though, Dream Destroyers, which I believe became Complexity, if I am remembering correctly, is at the bottom of the brackets, as is CNB, Union Gaming, and SNA is in 4th place, and we thought SNA would be doing a little bit better, I think, at this stage. That said, they are still tied up with some other folks who just have more games, so they're tied with Shadows of the past.
If I remember correctly, I think Moon was the only one from Complexity that was on DD. I think it was WWD's team. With Bloody Nine, and a few other guys that are on DD.
That's right. I'm glad that's right. I'm glad you're here because I forgot about that. So Moon maybe moved on, and they're having some trouble with the stand-in situation.
Yeah.
Haven't had a chance to watch that. So Complexity was Stay Green. Got it. All right. So DD is still DD. My apologies. Foot in mouth and moving forward. EU-RU Season 10 is the bracket to watch. Obviously, Starladder, Eastern European Tournament, and they've got all the big names in there. And the number one team right now is Navi. So while Navi is not doing so well in the previous tournament we talked about, they're doing great in Starladder with a full 21 points under their belt. Team Tinker, Secret, Alliance, Cloud9 in that order bring up the back five, which I think we all pretty much expected. A little bit of a surprise for me here is that Empire is all the way down in 13th place, as is Meet Your Makers. So two teams that I thought would have a much better showing at Starladder are definitely having a much harder time at Starladder. Part of that, they haven't played as many games, but at the end of the day, they're way down on points. They're going to have to work hard to get that caught up. So that is the EU Starladder updates, and last but certainly not least, let's take a look at the China Season 10 updates for you. And right now, it is anyone's race. Newbie, IG, HGT are all tied for first place with 6. VG and LGD are no more than a game out at 3 apiece. So the big heavy hitters, all the big names are represented there, and the China Starladder series continues with it being basically wide open for anyone to take position. So how many advance? I think in the Starladder, if I remember correctly, it goes 5 from the Eastern European brackets, 2 from the Chinese brackets, 2 from the US, and then 2 from SCA. But I don't know if that's for sure. So we'll have to double check and bring that back to you on the next roundup. Starladder is a tough tournament to explain sometimes because their website is ridiculously difficult to translate, as they only translate some of the very specific details like team names, and they don't tell you a whole lot about format. So my apologies there, and I will work on it as we go forward. So Starladder updates are in. Any thoughts that you guys have on who's in front or somebody you expected maybe to do better that isn't?
For me, I think it was HDT. I didn't watch them that much, but like from the few games I did, their offlane, Icy, if I have it correctly, was I don't know, like he played really awkwardly, and like I remember one game he was clockwork, and he hooked in when nobody was close by, and missed hooks left and right. It just looked really shaky, so I was pretty surprised that they're top 3 right now. But I guess like there hasn't been a lot of games, right, in the China scene, so you know, it can still change a lot. But that was like one of the one of the teams I was like probably, you know, a little shaky. So.
Yep, absolutely. And they, like we said, China's only played 2 games per team, so they're being a lot more consistent with their games than a lot of the other areas are. But yeah, that said, I mean, they're 2-0, so a little shaky, but I guess that just goes to show the beauty of Dota. If you've got one person playing bad, 4 can make up for it.
Yeah,
and get them caught up. So let's continue to move forward here, guys, because we talked about tournaments, and now I want to keep talking about them. My guest today, you've heard him talk a little bit here. Leo Leo runs Tactic Hive, which is not a new tournament. It's been around for, I think you guys are hitting your 2nd season, or is it the 3rd season coming up?
So basically, we've been hosting tournaments for the past 6 months. We hosted 4 or 5 tournaments. Now we're moving out to the league, so more like, you know, overtime kind of thing. And this is our 1st season for the Tactic Hive League. So
this is our 1st season for the league. They've done tournaments, but it's league time. So what I wanted to do is bring him on because we don't get organizers all that often. We're talking about tournaments on Fridays. And I wanted to ask a couple of questions. First, I would love to have you describe your tournament in just like 1 sentence, a way for the fans who are trying to tell their friends what to sign up for, that they can say, hey, you should sign up for Tactic Hive because...
Right, so Tactic Hive League is an in-house league focused on team versus team experience. We have redesigned chat, forum, and scheduling system so you can worry less and play more. That's pretty much. Worry less and play more. Worry less and play more.
That's it. That's the catchphrase right there. I think that you guys need to take away from that sentence, right? Is worry less, play more, come in, and just do your thing. So that sounds interesting to me, and it sounds like something I haven't really heard before. I know I've played in-houses. I work with NEL for casting stuff. But what is it about your league, your in-house, that is different? You know, what makes it unique?
Right, so basically for us is that we focus more on giving the gamers a better experience than sometimes giving like a huge prize pool. So basically, you know, we have like all kinds of different things, such as the dynamic scheduling system, so you can basically play whenever you want against whoever you want. We have like a chat system where you can basically, you know, find stand-ins, find people to play with, you know, within a matter of minutes. So you don't really have to wait for like, you know, the queue time or like the schedules, you know, for like the leagues and the tournaments. We have like a forum that's redesigned as well. So like you can find your teammates, you know, within a fraction of the time, because now you can sort by the different positions. So let's just say like if you're looking for an offlane, right? You can click on the offlane tag, and then we'll sort, you know, all the comments by offlaners. So you only have to look through the offlaners, and later on, you know, we'll implement more, so you can, you know, sort by like the MMR, where you play, when do you play, what position you play, and all kinds of different things, right? To really make it easy for you to find the right teammates. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, is there a limit to how many games you and your team get to play on the in-house? I think it's an in-house Friday sort of format, or is it kind of play as much as you want and try to rack up the points?
It's really just like try to play as much as you want and rack up the points. If if you don't have time this week and you only want to play 1 game, that's completely fine as well, right? But if you have time and you really wanted to play this Friday, you can play 10 games or like even 20 games if you can, you know, squeeze it in. So it's really up to you and up to your team how you want to take it.
Awesome. Is it just for North America, South America, or is this a global open? Like how does that sort of work?
Oh yeah, this is for global. So you know, it's offered to every region: North America, South America, Europe, China, Southeast Asia. From what I noticed, a lot of people wanted to happen in Australia as well. So we're definitely making it happen in Australia. You know, even South Africa and maybe the Middle East as well, just to, you know, accommodate everyone, right? Because everyone loves the same game, and you know, we think it would be awesome if everyone plays the same game on the same place. So.
Sounds good to me. So let me ask you then, when does it start and how long do we have to register? Where do we register if we want to put a team together?
Okay, so basically we kick off on October 10th.
Okay.
So you really have from now until October 10th to sign up. If you sign up before October 1st, we actually give you a chance to win a Battle Fairy, that item in game. It looks pretty awesome, so I would think other people will want it too. Actually, our league lasts until December 26th. So from October 10th to December 26th, it will be every Friday that we open our doors, and you guys can come in and play as much as you want.
That's pretty awesome. So, guys, if you have a team, and this sounds like a great opportunity for someone like me who has a team that's a little bit smaller and plays at the amateur level, to come in and get a lot of tournament practice, all on a very open schedule. And I believe it's Fridays that the games go on. Is that correct?
Yes, it's Fridays.
So for 24 hours on a Friday, you can basically get as many games as you want with your team. It's like the Scrim Master Open. And as Leo so eloquently put it, where you can worry less and play more. So check out the Tactic Hive. I think it's going to be a great tournament. I asked them to be on the show today. They're not giving me anything for this. There's no kickbacks. I just really like the format. I wanted to reach out to Leo so he could explain it to you guys. Because, as we know, they are invested in, and I am invested in, the Dota 2 community, especially at the lower levels, kind of helping us develop. So glad to have you here for that reason.
Actually, there's also one more thing. Because we're aiming at the lower levels, we have like a crowdfunding system, which is completely different. So actually 80% of our funding will go towards the prize pool instead of the usual 25%. So really, we just take the money to keep us running, and then all of the rest goes back into the community, right? Because we know, this is like the grassroots. We really want to keep the community going. So this really makes sense to us to take a way less share and to give more back to the community.
Excellent. It sounds great to me. I'm excited about it. I'll probably put a team together because why not? Scrims on Friday are what we do anyway.
Awesome.
That said, let's roll through into our next feature, guys. You've gotten to know her over her time here, as well as the amazing YouTube videos she puts up. Her videos helped me redeem a signature card that I had sitting in my pocket because I could not figure it out. It's Feedernoob, and she's got a couple of things for us today, so go ahead and take away Cosmetic Corner, Noob.
Alright, so if anyone thought there was going to be a week without hats, Valve struck again. They did release like one item this week, and that is the Mayday Jade Rabbit Courier, which baffled me when I first saw it. It's like, what is this? It turns out that it was a promo item on Perfect World, but they went ahead and released it to buy here. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a new trend with them. I know a lot of people complained that, oh, Perfect World gets all these cool items, we don't get them. So that might be a thing.
So we did it, Reddit.
Yeah, we did it. We got a crazy looking jade rabbit thing.
So I put a picture up on the live stream if you guys are watching the show live. If you aren't, just think of a rabbit with a hipster goatee chilling in a canoe, and that is the courier.
Yeah, you get a loading screen too, so
fair
extra
enough.
Value. Let's see. The second thing is the top post on Reddit right now is this gorgeous wisp set. It's called the Celestial Spark.
So pretty.
It's beautiful. It comes with pretty much an animation for everything. And what the hell, Valve? We've been waiting for a wisp set for a year. This got released a year ago.
Wow.
Oh, God.
I didn't realize it has been... So it's been out for a year just waiting for approval, basically?
Yes.
Wow.
Like, what is this? We get a Techies Arcana right when Techies comes out.
Right.
Everyone wants a Wisp set. I don't understand why they are not making so much money off of us Wisp fans.
They're protective of their balls of light. So they're keeping it... They don't... The idea of these red balls, I guess, is worries them, but I think that's pretty awesome how Wisp changes colors. The circulation pattern is different. Like, it looked amazing. I watched the videos.
Yeah, Overcharge makes him look like a little sun. It needs to happen. I'm just waiting for when. But
awesome.
Anyway, I just had to talk about that. One thing to note is, for those of you that like real life swag, Demi Heroes are back in stock right now at the Valve store. So
Nice.
Those are the ones that come with a genuine Trove cask. If you get lucky and get a gold one, you get the gold Trove cask out of that.
So this is like a figurine.
This is a little figurine.
Okay.
They're pretty nice. They sold them at TI. I got some. The quality is pretty high, and the unlock is good. So if you want one, get it now. They won't last long, and you'll have to wait till they restock again.
So you can go to the Valve store and buy one for $30, or you can go to Patreon and help fund the show. Your choice, no pressure. What else you got?
Or you can do both.
Or you could do both. What somebody? Sorry. On a side note, someone on CS:GO spent over $1,000 last night on chess and just opened them on stream and got he got like no rares. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So hey, people like that, you can do both. That's great for you. Awesome.
Hey, one thing is, I get a little bit of flack sometimes for cosmetics being fluffy, but it's what runs Dota.
It does.
So,
it does. Your purchases help keep Dota going. But I think there's one more thing you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention people really like the Rainmaker bow that comes with the liquid shirt. And the liquid shirt was recently restocked and sold out, but if you are thinking of getting a Rainmaker, just wait a little bit. They're going to get cheaper pretty soon because there will be a new supply coming in.
Awesome. So Rainmaker, that is basically the power shot for Wind Ranger looks a lot different. Instead of the green bolt, it's a sweet blue ballista-style arrow. So I do think that looks pretty tight. And no better way to destroy trees than to do it with style.
Of course.
So any other cosmetics you want to talk about?
No, it's been a quiet week.
It has been a quiet week. Hopefully next one is not, because Lord knows I'm ready for a meta change. That said, we'll do a quick talk tournament games today. We're using Shivar's list on her website because Gozu, who we usually use, hasn't done a lot of updating today. Plenty of Starladder games going on. Guys, if you take a look at the games today, I'll do it first, but I want you to think about it. What game do you think is worth watching? Which game grabs you and says, watch me please? And I think for me, I really want to see the Alliance PR Cloud9 combo. It's going to be in Starladder later today. I think that Power Rangers has been playing very, very well, and I think that they have a chance to put together some upsets against those top teams over there. I also think that if you want to watch something earlier on in the day, Excellent Moscow Cup has a bunch of best of threes going on. I don't remember exactly which ones they are, but we're at the back end of the tournament now. So if you want to see some big games and some good ones, head over to Hitbox and check out Pimp Muggle doing EMC all day today. What do you think? Which game on that list do you think is worth watching?
Ooh, I'm looking like the PR versus Cloud9, the Alliance versus PR, and also the Navi versus VP. VP's actually been better. I don't think they the 30% is like pretty low. I'm looking up on Dota 2 Lounge right now. I'm probably gonna bet for VP because I think they deserve more than 30% at least for sure.
Yeah.
So though, yeah, those are pretty awesome. And actually, yeah, one of the ones that you mentioned before was top 5 versus complexity. That's definitely gonna be one of the ones that I watched today. So trying to squeeze the time out right now.
Yeah, and honestly,
sure.
top 5 complexity are two North-South American teams that have fought their way up, especially in the form of top 5. So make sure you check those out because those guys are kind of getting their break in ESL, and I'm excited about it. Feeder, do you have any choices for games to watch today?
I'm going to be watching NVMI versus Navi.
Ooh, good one. Ex-manager takes on old team.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good one. And NVMI has been playing very, very well lately. And Navi, a little bit of a hit last week. So interested to see how they bounce back. They can take them on. I like that pick. All great ones. Make sure you keep an eye on them. Guys, that's it for the show today. We appreciate you being here, as always, supporting the show, supporting the Dota 2 scene. If you like the show, you can follow me at Twitter, Toffees_Dota 2 for updates on the shows, guests, things of that nature. If there's a guest you want to see on the show, tweet me and let me know, and tweet them and let them know, because our schedule's fairly open. I only schedule a week in advance to give plenty of time to find folks that are relevant to the news today and the people that you want to see. The Patreon is patreon.com/Toffees. If you like the show, help fund it. There's some cool rewards on there as well. And I'm still working on the mug. If you think that you can design the mug and you get a design that I pick, free mug for you. So let me know if you're interested. Tweet the designs, contact me on Skype, and let me know if you want a mug for yourself. I'll order you one if it's the winning design. That said, we appreciate you being here. Guests, let's start out with Leo. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything you want to say before we pan out for the day?
Well, thank you very much for having me. We're looking to host the best event there is for the minor leagues and for the grassroots. Hopefully we can talk to you guys, soon again on the show. Awesome show. Really enjoy myself.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. Yeah.
Feeder, any parting thoughts?
Happy Friday, happy Dota.
Happy Friday, happy Dota. Her signature sign-out line, you can find her at Feedernoob or over on YouTube. opening whatever box comes out next, guys. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to cut the stream and then come back with some music so you can listen to the good old Aloha Friday, the Hawaiian classic that we all listen to after work every single Friday. And it's been great spending the morning with you. So as always, have a good time. Happy Dota, and Toffee's out.